Here's something that you may come across if you do a lot of work on your own bike. This is what they call a locating dowel, and what it is, it's where two halves of a crankcase, say, or whatever, meet together. They have dowels in them so that they locate perfectly, and then you bolt them up. So how would you get rid of one of these? How would you take one out? Well, what you could do is you could get yourself a pair of grips, as we've said before, grab it there and squash it because they are hollow. So what we're trying to do now then is we're trying to get this out without distorting it. So the easiest way to do it is find yourself something that fits nicely in there like that. Then you can get your grips, hold it at the top and just work it out. It's as easy as that. We haven't squashed it, it's perfect, and you can use it again. If you're ever doing any work on, say, the brake disc or the brake caliper, once you undo these bolts, there's a thread lock that is put on at the factory which stops them vibrating loose. So basically when you have undone these and taken them out, you've disturbed the seal. Now what Honda or Kawasaki or whatever usually say is that you should replace the bolts with new ones because they come pre-coated with the ThreadLock compound. But if you work it out, there's 6 bolts there at £1.50 each. There's also 2 bolts there at probably £2 each. You're looking at about £12–13 just to replace the bolts on this side. So what I'm saying to you is the easiest thing to do is buy yourself some ThreadLocking compound. Once you've taken the bolts out, you have to remove all the compound from the old bolt. So a wire brush will do the job nicely. You could put one in the end of your drill. Anyway, here's one of the bolts that I've cleaned up. This is actually a caliper mounting bolt that goes in there. As you can see, it's all nice and clean. We've removed all the traces of ThreadLocking compound. So let's put some new compound on it. So we'll put the thread lock on. Now we don't have to go mad with this, just a nice, run it across, swivel the bolt round. So there's plenty of thread lock on that. This one's a blue one, it could be white, it could be green, it could be red. There we are, this one's a nice blue colour. We've coated that all the way round. All we're going to do now is insert that into there. Tighten it up, and always remember, if there is a torque wrench setting, use it. Tighten it up to the correct torque and it will never come undone. Okay, so that's fine for something that you don't want to come loose. What about something that you may take off on a regular basis or you don't want to actually lock together, you want to be able to release it? Well, for that we will use copper slip or copper grease. Just put a light coating onto a fastener, just wipe it round, get rid of the excess, put the fastener in, tighten it up. Now that will tighten up and it will stay tight until you come to release it, but all it does, it acts as a barrier between the two different surfaces. So if you want to undo that on a regular basis, you can do. That's the copper grease. You can also use it on brake pads. You can put it on the back of a brake pad to stop it from squealing, so between the piston and the pad itself. So yes, it's always handy to have some copper grease or copper slip around the workshop.